Hey everybody, so this is the video where we actually get to build the PC. I know my son has been eagerly awaiting this moment. We don't have the graphics card, he still needs to earn that, but we have enough here that we can actually build this out. So it'll basically just be a PC without a beefy graphics card in it. Hopefully we can run something like Minecraft or Terraria once we get it all built out. And that's if this hard drive will allow me to boot it up and kind of do a system restore on it where it'll wipe all the data. So we'll see with that, but what we're going to do is we're going to click over to kind of a sped up version of this. It's going to look a little bit different. I'm going to record it on my iPhone so that we're not sitting here and it's not like an hour and a half video of us trying to build this together, because I want him to do a lot of this and I want this to be a learning experience for him where he understands what we're doing, where we're putting things, why we're doing it. Certain aspects with it though, just because I don't want him to crush anything. And it takes a little bit more finesse. I'll be helping with that, like using the thermal paste to put on the heat sink here. So with that, we're going to go ahead and switch over now, and we'll do the sped up version. And after that, we'll show a video of us trying to boot the computer, and we'll see what goes on with that as well. Hopefully, it turns on for us today so that we can play some games. Alright, so that was a sped up version of what we did. We actually had some problems with it. This is like my third or fourth build. I'm not putting the heatsink on just yet. I want to make sure everything's good to go before I actually attach that, because if you don't, it's just a pain to mess with trying to pull that off. A little bit confused because I hadn't used that heatsink before with how the back bracket went. But with this, don't touch it just yet, but also the power button cables. I always get confused on that, so we tried looking it up, ended up plugging in the wrong spot, and then tried to boot it up a minute ago, and it's just one of those things. There's so many things to do. I needed a checklist. Probably should have made one of those, but didn't plug in the CPU, which is super obvious once you don't do that. But everything's connected right now, so we're going to boot it up, and we're going to see if we can get this thing operational.
The buttons.
So Caleb's going to do the honors. Go ahead and push it. Is that the right one?
Yeah.
Oh, I think we actually, sorry. Now do it.
Okay.
So, here's his keyboard, here's his mouse.
Oh, wow, it's rainbow. Look, it changed colors. Dad, this kit changes colors. You did not say it changes colors.
Manager missing. This was the same problem as my last thing, so let's see if this works. Alright, so let's try this. Let's try this. Okay, so boot option 1 is that. Settings, boot hard drive. Save and exit. Save changes and reboot. Maybe. We'll see.
Boop, boop, boop,
Keep our fingers crossed.
Please, people, have your fingers
Boot
crossed.
manager missing. Control delete. Restart. That doesn't do anything.
Delete. Please, people, have your fingers crossed again. I'm begging for you. I'm begging. Please. Please.
Yep, it's there. Shows that that's the boot drive. Go to BIOS enabled.
Thank you, people, for having your finger crossed. Ciao.
Okay, so why is it doing that?
I don't know. Trust fall. No trust falls. I hope my favorite character on YouTube is watching the videos.
Still doing that, that's weird.
Watching the video. They call him. Well, he calls himself.
So if this
Jelly.
is going to do this, so what we're going to do if this is going to do this, I'm going to spend some time trying to figure out what's going on with this. If I happen to get it working, we'll cut back. If not, what we'll most likely have to do is essentially just go get a new solid state, because I was having problems with the solid state before, but I'd fixed the problems with updating, but it had to do with the motherboard settings that I'd mess with. So what we're going to see.
What if you press a button?
Hey, please don't. So what we're going to do is, if we have to do that, we'll most likely just get a small solid state and just get a Windows 10 on a flash drive, and then we'll upload everything from there. So I'll have to do a separate video with that. So I'm going to mess with this for a little bit longer and see where we can get.
Ooh.
Hopefully that's not the case. All
Dad,
right? Keep
where
our fingers
the
crossed.
Button.
All right, so we figured out what we're going to do. Right now it's not even showing my SSD. I'm just going to take that and trade it in somewhere, hopefully get a little bit of money where they can actually just completely wipe it. I'll most likely just go ahead and buy him an SSD. Right now everything is actually installing onto his regular hard drive, my old one, 1 terabyte one, and it's going to erase everything and just completely start over with all of that. Luckily I've copied everything over, so that'll be fine with that. It'll give him a fresh start. Once we get the SSD, we'll upgrade to Windows 10, and then I'm going to dictate that that gets installed on the SSD, and we'll go from there. So because of that, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to let this do its thing. We're going to go get an SSD. We'll just need like a 120, because all of his program files are going to go towards this anyways. And it's not like he's going to be doing anything crazy. It's just mostly for gaming, so me and him can game together. So don't need a huge SSD for all of that, just mainly the boot drive. So this may take a little bit longer than we were expecting, but that's kind of partly what you're dealing with when you're messing with around with the computer. So I'm gonna let this do its thing. Hopefully we don't have any hiccups with this. If we have hiccups with that, it may take longer, I don't know. So we'll see. Hopefully when we cut back, everything's operational though. Alrighty, so we got it working finally. It took us about 3 hours from that last part to get everything up and running, and we're going on about 8 hours with this project here, but I have Windows 10 loaded now. So solid state didn't work, took a gamble with that. We loaded Windows 7. I had an old CD to upload that, so we loaded Windows 7 on there, but I was hoping I'd get just the ability to upgrade it. Whoop. That did not work. There we go. And I'm going to have to update some stuff with his. We signed on with my account just now real quick, and I just now noticed that it's going to update his background. So we're going to correct that. Now comes all the software stuff. But got rid of the SSD. I'm just going to have a company wipe that or something like that. So we loaded it on the 1 terabyte hard drive, and then the problem with Windows 7, I had to actually download an Ethernet driver for the motherboard to see if I could, and I got the internet connected, and then was trying to figure out whether I could do that. Anyways, I ended up downloading an OEM software key and then getting a thumb drive. So we had to go to Best Buy. I had to pick up a 120 gig solid state drive for his boot drive. So we went there, $50. Then I got a 32 gig just flash drive. I downloaded Windows 10 onto that. Then got the OEM activation card, and then basically downloaded everything to the flash drive, then downloaded it, updated Windows 7 to Windows 10 here. Now comes all the software stuff, downloading all the softwares. What we didn't show with this too is he's got to work it off, but on that part, because he's paid for half of everything. I went ahead and just installed the graphics card. So he has an EVGA GTX 970. We got it off eBay. It was $160, so he's going to have to work off $80 for that. But now that we have that in there, it's going to be easier Now he'll be using the TV initially downstairs in our house. It'll be just running 1080p, but mine's a 1440p monitor here, so it can handle that. And with the 970, it's not going to be like ultra settings all the time, but that's still a good graphics card. And eventually he can go SLI if he wants to. I don't know if we can do with that power supply or not, so we might have to update that at that point, but we're looking way down the road. So with the amount of use that he'll be doing with this will be really, really good. So we're going to work on the software end of things for a while, right?
Yeah.
Right. We're going to work on the software end of things for a while. I'm going to get him set up with Steam and all of that, and then he has to work off the games. So if he wants to buy any games, he has to earn the money to pay for them, and then he'll pay me back. And I have to basically go in and make sure that he has a profile set and get pictured on there and all that other stuff. But we are officially done with the PC. We'll do an update video here pretty soon, probably in a week or so, also just showing everything that we've done with it so that you guys can see that it's actually capable of running games and all that. Also, quite a process. He got to do a lot of hands-on stuff with this, which has been really, really cool. Really the only thing I didn't want him to mess with was setting the power supply, or the actual case power units stuff to the motherboard, and then just setting the chip and putting on the thermal paste so we could actually set the heat sink, because that's just a hard process in and of itself. But everything else he's been helping with, which has been awesome. And then we're going to let him learn some of the other software side of things here in the coming weeks also. So thank you guys for watching. This has been the actual build that we've been kind of slowly prepping for. He's been earning all the money to pay for half of it, and eventually we're going to get a monitor too, so once we have that set up, we'll actually kind of show the full-blown thing as well. We want to thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to link in the description box all the stuff that we've bought for this. Eventually we'll probably start doing reviews on stuff. We're going to get him set up. The hope is get him set up so he can do videos for himself and all of that on YouTube also. So thank you guys so much for watching, and check back for those videos in the coming weeks of us kind of exploring my son's PC.